All the creatures, all the magic, the storyline and how it's developing. I mean, I honestly cannot find fault in this series.
Yeah.
I really can't. The pacing is good. The characters are interesting and greatly fleshed out.
Yes.
Even if you don't know everything about them, that you still you still feel the weight of their history in them.
All right. Speaking of a spectacular show, the next show we're going to be talking about is The Ancient Magus Bride, or Mahotsukai no Yome.
Yes. So I'm gonna let you go on this one. What do you think about this one?
I absolutely loved it. I cannot wait to continue it. They're slowly building up some really, really cool things. And I love how right now, I don't think they're going to skip a season, but I like how right now, like, something big happened, and they could end it right here and be like, this is the first core. We'll be back in the season.
Yeah, no, I think this one's going for at least 24 episodes, I want to say.
Yeah.
This one continues into the next season.
Yeah, but I like how they kind of, like, knew this was, like, the midpoint, and they kind of wrapped it up somewhat like of a...
You realize that the OVAs that we watched in the very beginning, this is now where the OVAs take place.
Oh.
So yeah, they knew this was the halfway point, because this is now where the OVAs take place.
Wait. Oh! Yes, the present time part of the OVAs.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
I actually had to look back at it, and I didn't realize this, but the staff that she just got, her wand, if you look at the very beginning of the first OVA for that, when it shows her waking up, that wand's in there. It's in her.
That's cool.
Yep. So right now we have now caught up to where present time we were at from previously watching the OVAs.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, I thoroughly enjoy this. The closest I could say to this, I recommended to somebody else, was this is like almost like an anime version of Harry Potter kind of thing. And that's about as close as I can think to get to it as far as what's going on. But even that doesn't necessarily completely say all the things that are going on in this series, because wow, there is a lot going on. There's a lot of lore that they're using, which I greatly appreciate. That one character that they ended up coming across, that had taken that one dude's arm.
Oh yeah.
And that actually caused Aeolus to be very upset and go into his other form. I actually looked it up. That is actually in lore a person.
Huh.
It is actually a person with what they named him as, and they said he said, "Don't call me by that."
Yeah.
I actually looked up that name. That is literally a person in religious lore and Catholicism that Jesus, when he was getting crucified, told him that he would be there until the very end. That this person will live until the very end, and that's why he can't die.
Oh yes, because he said that what was it? The Son of God cursed him or something like that? Yes.
So they're using actual lore in this. I didn't look up Aeolus. I'm really curious about who he is, because they use his other name too for him as well, which I think is something from that. They keep, and in the very last couple episodes for so far, so I think this is another one that like I said, they're continuing next season. That they called him by another name, and I'm curious as to how that name, who that name correlates to, and how that all is there. But either way, this is an amazing series, and I don't think it's getting enough recognition for what it is.
Yeah,
I really don't. I think there are people who are passing this one by that shouldn't. Yeah. I think this should get as much acclaim as like some of the bigger names out there, like, you know, Attack on Titan and stuff like that. Yeah. This should rank right up there with that, because it is an amazing series.
There's so many cool things about this. Like, I don't even know.
All the creatures, all the magic, the storyline and how it's developing. I mean, I honestly cannot find fault in this series. Yeah. I really can't. The pacing is good. The characters are interesting and greatly fleshed out. Yes. Even if you don't know everything about them, that you still you still feel the weight of their history in them.
Yeah,
You
and
know,
like,
even if I didn't know, even if I didn't look up that one dude and who he was in relation to getting cursed by the Son of God or whatever, I still felt the weight of his history on him.
yeah.
So
And it's cool, like how almost like Do Ra Ra Ra, how the characters' backstories are all intertwined. Like they may not know each other, but some like how the main bad guy kind of links everybody together. Because it's like the dog, like the dog had no relation to Elias or
Chise.
but when they found him, they ended up meeting the guy who who created a freaking chimera from his sister, and then that's also the same person who ended up messing with those two people who ended up being that black blob that she ended up healing like a couple episodes before. And it's almost like such a small world how everybody knows each other, but it's spread out far enough to where you shouldn't run into them like every day. But it's I don't know, it's really really cool. I can't wait to see if their like supplies lady like gets involved in the story, because she seems like really capable as
She
far
does.
as like magical skill.
I will totally admit though that when that whole fight went down and Elias went completely
beast mode
off the chain, I was so happy with that. I was like, oh yes, hell yes.
I was doing the same thing. I was like, you done fucked up. You done fucked up.
Basically, I was like, oh, you so fucked up on this one. You did not want to do that.
Oh.
But maybe that character did. Maybe that character is actually trying to find a way to die. And that's the reason why he did something like that. Knowing full well how that would play out.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. It's a lot of interesting things, and I'm so excited to see how it's going to turn out. And I know I'm going to be sad when they finish the series. I mean, I'm hoping they'll I'm hoping that even though I know that it's going to be continuing on to the next season, that even that's not going to finish it, and that they're going to be like, all right, we're going to go to season 2.
Yeah.
And I'm like, all right, hell yeah, let's keep it going.
Yeah.
Let's keep this train rolling, because so many interesting things. And actually to find a series that does not vilify dragons is so nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
One thing that's kind of cool is, even though Chise and Elias are like the main characters, I feel like a bunch of people are meddling in their like relationship, and they're like, he gets it also. He's like, I know that I'm not really handling the situation correctly, but I'm doing the best that I can. And then everybody else is like, you need to value yourself more. You need to like do this and that. And it's I don't know. It's like I'm like I get it. And I'm like, but he admits it. He doesn't know exactly what he's. And like especially the part where when I guess somebody had explained something that's gonna happen to Chise, and it was something that he didn't want her to know yet because he didn't know how to break the news to her, and then he started freaking out, and he's like, hey, yeah, I know this is happening. You know what if I erase that memory? Like that'll make you feel better, right? And she's like, no, don't worry about it. She's like, I'm fine. And I was like, yeah, she was like, don't be scared. Like, I'm not going to run away kind of thing. And I'm like, it was so good.
I was so happy and giddy too when they introduced Titania and Oberon.
Oh!
I had a smile on my face. I was like, oh, hey, it's Titania and Oberon. Hell yeah. It's just the amount of lore and that they're bringing into this, it just makes it that much better. So
cool. Yes, like you said, everybody should be watching this. You got a whole another season. Watch it.
Watch it.
All right. Like, it's also a kind of thing where it's like, it's kind of unfortunate. Like, it's not 100% his fault, but it is, because he's the king. So it's kind of, it's, I don't know. It
was a nice and interesting slice of life romance.
Okay.
With elements of, elements of like RPG-ish